Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Monday the 23rd of October. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. Employees of the Jamaica Post Central Sorting Office on South Camp Road in Kingston had to evacuate the building after a fire began at the back of the premises sometime after 9 on Monday morning. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, says rubbish behind the building may have been the source of the fire. He said 5 people have been hospitalized with a breathing-related issue due to the fire.
So this morning at approximately 9:08, we got a call that there was a fire at CSO, a rubbish fire. That's the initial call. When we got here, we recognized that the fire had actually spread from the rubbish to a storage area. Sparks emitting from the burning would have traveled to a vent and would have landed in the storage area where, as was explained by Mr. Allen, we have whole meals being stored, and that would have caught on fire. The good news in all of that is that the fire has been contained and is confined to that general area. There's no threat to the building itself. As you would have heard, the staff were evacuated safely. All of them would have been accounted for. And of course, operation, as indicated, would be closed for the day. Well, I can't give an estimate because we are still in our preliminary investigation. In terms of a cause of the fire, we are not certain yet. We heard that it may have been unintentionally set by somebody of unsound mind who may have been maybe cooking or something at the back of the building. We are looking into that to see exactly what the cause of the fire is.
The NIDS Card Center was recently finished. It is state of the art. It is wonderful. Of course, when I saw the reports of this fire, that was the first thing that came to mind. And also the refurbished CSO, the portion that's available for the public. But luckily, all of those areas are fine. There was no damage to those areas. The fire was contained in one room, and it's a room with old mail that was to have been destroyed. And so thankfully, because of the fire response, we do not have any damage anywhere else in the building. The only issue is obviously smoke throughout the building. 2
brothers were shot, one fatally, along the Ricketts River Main Road in Frome, Westmoreland on Sunday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as 64-year-old Cleveland Hamilton, otherwise called Baya, of Canada, who was visiting the community. Reports are that about 3:55 p.m., both brothers were standing along the roadway when a white motorcycle with 2 men drove up and stopped. The pillion disembarked the motorcycle, brandished a firearm and opened fire, hitting both men. Hamilton ran across the road in a bid to escape and was chased by the gunman, who continued firing at him. The now deceased then fell to the ground. The men then proceeded to rob Hamilton of an undetermined sum of money and a gold chain before fleeing on their motorcycle towards George's Plain. The other brother was transported to the hospital by relatives, where he was admitted in serious condition, whilst Hamilton was pronounced dead on arrival. The Jamaica Constabulary Force released the names of the 3 men who were killed by cops, sparking a protest in Raytown, Kingston on Sunday morning. The men, all 19, were fishermen from the community. They are Carla Faulkner, otherwise called CJ, from Paradise Street, Andre Turner, otherwise called Max, from John Street, and Shahid Morgan, also called Tinado, also from John Street. The police had a Taurus 9mm pistol containing 12 rounds and an Arcus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 5 rounds were seized following the incident. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has begun to probe the incident. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is again encouraging members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to shoot to kill when confronted by armed criminals. Chang says there are criminals who are shooting at police officers at checkpoints. Against that backdrop, he is urging police officers to use their training to defend themselves. Last year, Chang came under criticism by civil rights groups for making a similar statement where he urged cops to shoot to kill. These advocacy groups were concerned as they said the statement could be interpreted as a tacit approval of extrajudicial killings. The St. James Police have warned that the incident that led to 54 shops being gutted by a fire at the old Shoes Market arcade is likely to be repeated if those who operate in that space refuse to communicate with investigators. Aaron Samuels, the acting senior superintendent of police for the St. James Division, told vendors that he was aware that some of the victims of last Saturday's fire know why they were burned out, but have so far opted to remain silent. A lot of you know what transpired. My ears are on the ground, so no matter what we do, if you don't work with the police, it will happen again. While firefighters have not yet determined the specific cause of the fire that caused significant damage to several shops at the Old Shoes Arcade, the St. James Fire Brigade has reported that the fire, which is believed to have started about 2:30 on October 15, quickly raced through the facility, which included clothing and variety stores. A man is dead and his girlfriend wounded following a gun attack in Exchange Orcharius early on Monday morning. The deceased is 45-year-old Terrence Williams of Prosper Hall Exchange and a supervisor at the Total service station in the area. Williams' girlfriend has been hospitalized. Reports are that about 12:10, Williams was driving with his girlfriend and a stepdaughter on the Prosper Hall Road when a man in a black hoodie and face mask opened fire at his car. Williams and his girlfriend were hit, while his stepdaughter escaped serious injuries. The gunman escaped on foot. The police found Williams slumped around the steering wheel of the car, which had crashed into a wall. He was later pronounced dead, and his 36-year-old girlfriend was admitted for treatment. A double murder in Prairie St. Anne on Saturday night stemmed from a long-standing dispute stretching back to the COVID-19 lockdowns, police sources have indicated. 42-year-old Dwight Harrison of Riverhead, Monique, and 30-year-old Nicholas Hobson died after a gunman reportedly opened fire at a group of men in the community on Saturday night. Harrison reportedly died on the spot, while Hobson died at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. 3 men were also wounded during the attack, which occurred around 8:25 p.m. Police said a group of men were cooking on a premises near the main road when 2 men approached on foot, and one of them, who was armed with a handgun, opened fire, hitting the 5 men. The men then escaped in a waiting motorcar. The police were called and the victims taken to the hospital. A police source said the shooting is tied to an incident dating back to the COVID-19 period, which also led to a double killing. The police say they are pursuing strong leads in relation to this latest attack. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.